Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, the one and only Agent Shambly, and I have a different video for you today. It's a comparison contrast of Resident Evil 1 on the PS1 and the remake of Resident Evil 1 on the Switch. Let me know what you think of this video. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so this is my first time doing this, as you can see, and yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you all like it. Resident Evil Remake was released in 2002 for the GameCube. It's, of course, a remake to Resident Evil 1 for the PlayStation. The game received critical acclaim from both fans and critics, spawning many re-releases on current-gen consoles. Today, I'll be looking at the Nintendo Switch version of the remake, and I'll be looking at the PS1 version of the original. I won't focus on the story because they are pretty much the same. Yes, some cutscenes are different, and they do have an added story with a new enemy called Lisa Trevor, but the overall story is the same between the two. With that being said, let's talk about the graphics. It's no secret that the graphics on the remake are far superior than the original. I mentioned in my Resident Evil review that the graphics looked pixelated. I should have been more specific. The character models don't look very good in my opinion. I know it's an older game, but they just don't look good. The look of the characters and enemies just don't age well. Now the remake fixed that issue big time. The characters all look great, as well as the enemies, and the pre-rendered backgrounds look incredible. They look almost lifelike to this day. The mansion looks darker now, and I like that added touch to it. It does look more realistic and scary, but that doesn't mean I don't like the way the original mansion looked. They both look great, but the remake looks better in my opinion. The gameplay, however, is what matters most, and both have their ups and downs. The controls feel a lot better in the remake in my opinion. They aren't as clunky, and I find it easier to dodge enemies. You have the option to not have tank controls, but I use them anyway because I prefer them in this game. In both the original and the remake, you go around and explore a mansion full of zombies, and you also go to some areas outside the mansion as well. You use ink ribbons to save your progress, something I forgot to mention in my original review, and there are some times where you have to do some puzzle solving. The puzzles themselves are pretty easy, but don't expect to go through the same puzzles in the remake. They are completely different, but like I said earlier, they are pretty easy. And also, in the remake, there are some extra areas you do go through as well. In the remake, you'll be examining your items a lot more, and you'll be combining them as well. Combat-wise, the remake has made a lot of improvements from the original. You have auto-aim, and it makes taking down enemies a lot easier. However, you now have to worry about Crimson Heads. They are zombies you have taken down earlier that rise from the dead, and they become faster and stronger. In order to avoid this from happening, you have to either take the zombie's head off or burn it with some kerosene and a lighter. You can only burn the zombie when you've taken it down the first time. The whole Crimson Head thing makes you strategize throughout the game because the kerosene and lighter does take up space in your inventory. Well, except if you're Chris, because Chris automatically carries a lighter. And Jill still gets extra inventory space, so it doesn't take up too much space at the end of the day, but it can be annoying at times. And of course, Chris does have to use small keys to unlock certain doors, and Jill does automatically get a lockpick, so things do balance out when it comes to inventory space with both characters. But still, Jill has the advantage when it comes to inventory space, while Chris has the advantage when it comes to taking hits. In normal mode, when Jill gets attacked by a zombie twice, she dies. I personally don't like the addition of Crimson Heads, but you really only have to worry about them in the first quarter of the game. Oh yeah, and the dogs in the remake are annoying to take out too. In the original, they weren't a problem at all. In the remake, they could one-shot you if you don't have a defensive weapon. A defensive weapon will stop enemies like zombies and dogs from hurting you. They really come in handy, and they don't take up inventory space. My favorite is the grenade. Difficulty-wise, I feel the remake is harder. In the original, you don't have any difficulty settings whatsoever. In the remake, you have a very easy, and normal mode. You can eventually unlock hard mode and other modes if you complete the game multiple times. The music in both games are good, but I have to once again give the edge to the remake. The music just sounds a lot better in that version. They have remixed music from the original, which I like, and they have removed all the music that didn't fit in the original, which I also like. The original music is still good, but the remake does it better. And of course, the acting and sounds. They made a major improvement on the acting. The actors did a terrific job bringing the characters to life. They don't sound hokey, and their dialogue is much better as well. There were so many cringeworthy scenes in the original. All of that is fixed in a remake. The sound effects are good too. Then again, they were good in both games, but they do sound a little better in the remake. There was a sound mixing issue in the original that I didn't mention. The issue is nowhere to be seen in the remake. Overall, I think the remake is the best version of the game. The original is still fun, but the remake improves on a lot of the issues that I have with the original. The controls, the graphics, the voice acting is much better here. Not to mention that there are a lot of extra modes for you to play and costumes for you to unlock after you finish the game. With that being said, the remake gets an A-. They improved the graphics, controls, and voice acting, but I wasn't a fan of the Crimson Head gimmick, and the dogs could be pretty cheap in this game as well. Before I end this video, I forgot to mention that you can get new costumes in the original Resident Evil. All you have to do is beat the game once and get a closet key. You go into a special room, you're able to change your costume whenever you want to. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And thank you all so much for all the support and all the subs, new subs, everything. Thank you all. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget to smash that like button, give that subscribe button a good KO punch, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You all have a nice day. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. And remember, geek, gaming, and nerd culture is for everyone. And let's keep things fun.